It's about an hour or so after I took the other video, and what I've done is I've sawn 1.5 inches off the remaining good limb because I felt I could see that flexing slightly more than I liked on the video. And rather than shortening the whole bow and ending up with it, you know, not being long enough and being overstressed, I've just taken that off that end, and then I've V-spliced in effectively a replacement tip on this limb. Actually, it was more than an hour ago. It was, where are we now, 8:30 in the evening. That was probably about, you know, just after lunch, so I can probably take this clamp off so you can see it better. Take the clamps off. There you can see the V-splice. And that glue is good and dry, but I'll leave it overnight before I stress it anymore. Right, it's now 66 inches knock to knock. It's silly, I had trouble gluing the overlays on. Did it same as last time, high viscosity super glue, bit of rubber binding, it wouldn't stick. Well, then I tried it again, cleaning the wood up a bit more. One stuck, the other one didn't. In the end I ended up gluing one of them with epoxy. But strange like that, sometimes glue just doesn't want to behave. Could be anything, bit of dust, bit of moisture, whatever, is what it is. So for those of you who have trouble gluing, don't worry about it. Happens to the best of us. Right, so being shorter, it's under more stress. That left looks stiff. I'll put something, oh, I had a little tick there, so at £30. Yeah, see, to me it's looking weak here, which could just be a shadow. It's interesting, I mean, I want to destruction test, well, not necessarily destruction test it, but I don't mind if it becomes a destruction test, because I want to see what it will do, but I want to be able to see it. Yeah, we're getting up to 30, 25. Oh, I can hear creaking. I think she's going to go there. There's still a little bit of that mark where that crack was. That is the limb that I've spliced in a new bit. Now if I was really trying to make this a bow, I'd probably ease off that left limb a little. Right, shall I go for it? See what we get. Hear that creak? Yeah, that right limb's working too hard. It's gonna go. You ready? Bang. You know, hopefully that will be useful to some of you. That thing about you're looking for where the error is. We could see where it was going to go before it went, but to a casual observer, they'd have said, well, that's fine, you know. Interestingly, yeah, it is where that crack was. Let's see if I can find the missing piece. So, it went where my splice is, and I think there's a bit missing. So the splice itself didn't go, the material itself fractured. Interestingly, I don't know if you can see, you've got the lines of the grain running like that, but it's split straight. So, there's another bit of a split there. So it obviously was working very hard everywhere. That gives us some sort of idea. and it went at about £32, but I think it was about 26 inches. So maybe there's just a weak point on that bit of timber there, and certainly it didn't, no sign of it failing there. So let's just put it across my knee, and that was interesting, a whole sliver popped out there. Yeah, you see how hard I was working to break that. Yeah, just smashed across the back. I think that would make a lightweight kid's bow. Might make a core for a bow. Yeah, it's not a timber I'd go out my way to use, that's for sure. And of course, someone on the previous post suggested arrows. Yeah, might make nice arrows, but it's not the same as Port Orford cedar. If you look up Western, well, I'm assuming it's Western red cedar because that's what I replaced it with, and that's probably cheaper than Eastern red cedar, which is, they're not quite the same. I think they're related to cedars, but of course back in the 60s there wasn't so much control of timber imports and what have you. Could have been something different. Anyway, there you go, that was part 2, the finale.